The studio lights of the View blaze brightly as the audience settles in for what promises to be another lively episode. But no one could have anticipated the storm brewing just beneath the surface. Joy Behar, the sharp-tongued co-host with decades of unfiltered commentary under her belt, sits poised at the curved table, her signature wit ready to slice through any topic. Across from her, Tom Hardy, the brooding British actor known for his intense roles in films like Mad Max and The Revenant, adjusts his leather jacket, his jaw set in that familiar determined line. The other hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and Sarah Haynes, exchange glances, sensing the electric tension as the segment kicks off with a discussion on Hollywood's evolving portrayal of masculinity. Joy leans in first, her eyes twinkling with mischief. Tom, darling, you've played so many tough guys, but let's be real. Isn't it time men like you stepped aside for more diverse voices? Your brooding silence in interviews is starting to feel a bit outdated. The audience chuckles nervously, but Tom's response is immediate, his voice low and gravelly, cutting through the laughter like a knife. Outdated? Joy, I've built a career on raw authenticity, not pandering to trends. Maybe if critics like you focused less on tearing down and more on building up, we'd have better stories to tell. The room hushes. The other hosts shift uncomfortably as Joy's smile tightens, her retort firing back with the precision of a seasoned debater. Authenticity? Honey, that's code for privilege. You've got the looks, the accent, the whole package. Try being a woman in this industry and see how authentic that feels. Tom's eyes narrow, his fists clenching subtly under the table, the air thickening with unspoken barbs. As the camera pans to capture the escalating exchange, producers in the control room whisper urgently, wondering if this is gold or gasoline. As the argument barrels forward, Tom's voice rises, no longer the measured timbre of his on-screen personas but a raw, unfiltered roar that echoes off the studio walls, startling even the most jaded crew members backstage. You sit here, Joy, week after week, judging from your perch, but have you ever truly listened to what men like me are fighting for? Not glory, not ego, survival in an industry that chews us up and spits us out. Joy doesn't flinch. Instead, she mirrors his intensity, her hands gesturing wildly as she counters, survival? Oh, please. While you're surviving on red carpets and residuals, women are still fighting for equal pay, for roles that aren't just arm candy. Your fight is a luxury problem. The audience gasps collectively, a wave of applause rippling from one side while boos echo from another, turning the taping into a live arena of divided loyalties. Sarah Haynes jumps in, her voice tentative. Guys, we're all passionate here, but let's keep it civil. Yet her words dissolve into the fray as Tom slams his palm on the table. Not hard enough to break anything, but enough to send water glasses trembling. Civil? This is civil compared to the battles I've seen on set. The egos, the cuts, the endless grind. You reduce it to male privilege like it's that simple. Joy's eyes blaze, her Brooklyn edge sharpening every syllable. It is that simple, Tom. Privilege isn't a dirty word. It's the truth you've been blind to. I've interviewed legends, Brando, Pacino, and none of them pulled the wounded artist card like this. The camera zooms in on Tom's face, capturing the vein pulsing at his temple. The way his breath quickens as if he's channeling Bane himself. Backstage, interns scramble for commercial break cues, but the director holds steady, knowing this raw footage could go viral in minutes. Sunny Hostin nods solemnly, adding fuel with a measured, Tom, Joy's point about diversity is valid. Hollywood needs change. The eruption reaches fever pitch when Tom stands abruptly, his chair scraping back with a screech that silences the room momentarily. His 5 feet 9 inches frame suddenly towering in presence if not height, exuding the coiled energy of a panther ready to pounce. Enough! You want raw? Here's raw. Your show thrives on controversy, Joy, but this isn't entertainment. It's erasure. Erasing the sweat, the scars, the nights I questioned if it was worth it. Joy rises too, undaunted, her petite stature belying a ferocity honed by years of stand-up and scrutiny, pointing a manicured finger across the table. Erasure? You're the one erasing women's struggles by centering your own. I've been cancelled, blacklisted, laughed off stages. Don't lecture me on worth. The audience is on its feet now. Cheers and jeers blending into a cacophony that drowns out the host's attempts at control. Phones flashing like fireflies in the chaos. Producers signal frantically for mics to be cut. But the live feed rolls on, capturing every unscripted syllable as if scripted by a higher power of drama. Sarah clutches her notes, whispering to Sunny, "This is insane. Ratings will skyrocket, but at what cost?" Meanwhile, Tom paces the length of his spot, his voice booming. "I've lost roles to politics, to agendas that prioritize buzz over craft. You call it privilege? I call it perseverance." Joy matches his pace from her side, her voice cracking with genuine ire. "Perseverance? Try motherhood and additions. Tom, try explaining to your kids why mommy's persevering on food stamps between gigs." The personal jab lands like a gut punch. Tom's eyes widen, a flicker of hurt crossing his features before hardening into resolve. "Don't bring my family into this low blow, even for you." Whoopi finally stands, her authoritative tone booming. "Sit down, both of you. This is The View, not a bar fight." But the damage is done. The crowd's energy feeds the fire, with one spectator shouting, "Tell her, Tom!" and another yelling, "Jay!" Midway through the maelstrom, a brief lull descends as commercial break looms, but Tom seizes it not for respite but to double down, his words tumbling out in a torrent that leaves no room for ads. "Look, Joy, I respect your trailblazing. Hell, I watched you back in the day, laughing through the punches. But respect goes both ways. Dismissing my journey as easy invalidates every choice I made to bare my soul on screen." Joy softens fractionally, her shoulders relaxing as she absorbs the olive branch wrapped in barb, then counters with equal vulnerability. "Fair enough, Tom. I've admired your work too. Dunkirk gutted me. But admiration doesn't blind me to the imbalances. We both bleed for this art. Why can't we bleed together?" The audience sighs collectively, a wave of empathy washing over the tension. But it's fleeting. Sunny interjects with a pointed question. "Tom, how do you respond to critics saying your roles perpetuate toxic masculinity?" His laugh is bitter, echoing harshly, "Toxic? Try transformative. I play men wrestling demons, not glorifying them. If that's toxic, then Shakespeare's a villain." Joy snorts, reigniting the spark. "Shakespeare had women as props half the time. Progress, my friend, means evolving beyond that." The banter teeters on reconciliation. Yet Tom's frustration boils over again, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper that microphones amplify into thunder. "Evolving? Or erasing history? You want me to apologize for being a man in a man's world?" The room fractures once more, applause splitting down gender and age lines, with younger viewers cheering Tom's defiance and veterans nodding at Joy's unyielding stance. Backstage, publicists scroll Twitter, already ablaze with hashtag Tom vs. Joy trending, memes morphing the duo into gladiators. As the segment hurtles toward its chaotic close, the argument morphs from personal to philosophical, Tom's intensity channeling into an impassioned monologue that silences even Joy momentarily, his words painting vivid strokes of an industry at war with itself. Imagine Joy, a set where egos don't dictate worth, where a kid from London, dyslexic and doubting, gets a shot not because of trends but talent. That's the world I fight for, not against you, but alongside. The audience hangs on every syllable, a hush falling like snow, broken only by scattered sniffles from moved viewers. Joy, ever the wordsmith, absorbs it, then delivers her riposte with poetic fire. "Beautifully said, Tom, but that world starts with dismantling the gates you've walked through unchallenged. My fight's for the kid who looks like me, sounds like me, denied because the gatekeepers see other first." Applause thunders, unifying the crowd in rare accord, yet the undercurrent of rivalry simmers. Sarah, seizing the moment, probes deeper. "Tom, has this conversation changed your view at all?" He pauses, the actor's timing impeccable, his gaze softening as he meets Joy's eyes. "Changed? Enlightened, maybe. You're a force, Joy. Remind me why I love this chaos. Laughter erupts, genuine and relieving. As Joy quips back, flattery now? Save it for the after-party, handsome. The levity cracks the tension. Hosts piling on with jokes. Whoopi declaring, if this doesn't win a people's choice, I quit. But beneath the mirth, embers glow. Tom's subtle eye roll at a follow-up question on woke Hollywood draws Joy's arched brow, her whisper mic catching. There it is, the broody resistance.